Hey there, I am just packing up to head out to my basically Armageddon holdout, which is what I've been referring to as Einstein Island. It's also known as the Nehalem Bay area, um, or the sister cities of Nehalem, Wheeler, and Manzanita. And I'm choosing to move my entire program out there because that is the most self sufficient set of villages I have encountered in my life. It's where I feel safe and where everybody else feels safe that's there. Um, and I've been following my gut for quite some time, about 2 years, starting this week to be exact. And it hasn't failed me once since. And I intend to keep doing it. And especially as feelings and emotions and people's awareness of everything that's going on in the world right now is escalating. It's my job to kind of stay where I was at the top of the escalator to catch everybody that's just stepping off and stepping into a whole new level of awareness. And also to guide people toward what they can do to help. If you think that there's nothing you can do about the world's problems, you are a fucking moron. And I'm not talking to you. So hit stop now and go watch some football. If you think that you wake up every morning and go live your life for a purpose because people need you and you're here for a bigger reason than just to wake up, make a paycheck, wipe some asses, and feel bad about yourself, then I'm talking to you. I posted this morning some stuff about crystals. And crystals were not something that was in my sphere of awareness about a year ago. I was aware of them, but I made fun of people that walked around waving crystals, praying to crystals, like crystal therapy, crystal healing, woo woo. It's a new age convention that I basically scoffed at until I started to understand the science behind frequency and subtle energies and how subtle energies can become matter. And once you understand the physics and the science behind all that stuff, you will change your fucking mind about some crystals. Your computer runs on a crystal. Radios run on a crystal. The fucking earth, core of crystals. This is a big fucking clock we're riding on. And it's spinning around because there's crystals inside generating it. Crystals hold more energy and information than you could possibly understand, comprehend, appreciate, or wrap your head around if you hadn't spent the last 2 years researching all this shit like I have and it's new to you. But clocks also run on quartz crystal. So I want to show you what one of these little quartz crystals looks like. This thing has been to, oh my God, every major activation point in the U.S. thanks to my fairy godmother, Beth Messenger. She took it to Arkansas and uploaded it with some information just for me. And then she took it to the very powerful Pele volcano in Hawaii. And so she gave me this and she told me to wear it on my heart right around here in the cleave zone, which I had done. I just took it off the natural string that I had it on because it was all wound up with my other jade necklace. And jade, I'm wearing jade right now. I didn't used to wear any jewelry, just my bougie diamond earrings. And now I've come to understand that all different kinds of stones, most of which are generated from quartz, put off a frequency that affects your subtle energies that you may not be able to sense on a conscious level, but on another level entirely, it is working on you and for you. So crystals are really important right now because that's what's underneath the earth that's kind of holding it together and keeping it together. And all the crystals under the earth hold all the information on how the earth is supposed to work. I know people are like, but how can the earth think? How can the earth know? The earth is just a giant fucking computer. And this one little crystal can hold a shit ton of information. But in addition to holding a shit ton of information, like there's enough information this thing could hold based on the crystalline structure of anything, that it could run like a whole city all by itself. But more importantly, crystals put off a frequency and a vibration. And there is a book called Stones, Who They Are and What They Tell Us, I think. And I would go grab it if I weren't packing for Einstein Island right now, because I need that sort of thing there. But the important thing with crystals and why people are so into them is that they have healing properties that work on your subtle energies, your subtle bodies, the parts of your aura or your magnetic field that you can't see. And so if you don't believe in any of this shit, it's kind of like, it's pointless, because if you don't believe in something, it won't believe in you. So I kind of got into studying crystals from a scientific point of view, and now I have hundreds of them in my shaman bag. A cute little fashiony shaman bag. And I have all kinds and for all manner of healing. This is whoa, this one's taking a beating. This is fluorite, and it's a pretty powerful crystal. But you'll have to do your own research on what they mean, what they're for, what they do, and how they can help you. The important thing is that you need to understand that between crystals and praying to the water, because then there's that other thing I was talking about, Dr. Emoto, the Japanese doctor who speaks for the water. And so the thing with the crystals is, if you bless a crystal and give it, literally, this is uploading information. See, I even have a druzy ring from Moxie. Amethyst is the highest frequency of quartz. But if you pray into the crystal, I know that sounds nuts. I don't fucking pray, but I started to pray once I figured out all of this shit. And by pray, I mean send your intentions. Like, with this crystal, I intend to be a good human and solve all the Earth's problems if I can. And I totally can. Please stand by. I hope for wellness and love and healing for everybody around me, for the water in Japan, for the people in Japan. I intend that these broadcasts should wake some people up, or wake them up further, because you wouldn't be watching this if you weren't like, well, what the fuck is Dana talking about? Maybe I'll watch a little longer. You totally should. Because this game is on. There's radiation falling on us. It's been raining basically every single day in Portland since the tsunami nuclear reactor explosion. The rain seems harder and heavier. They're picking up radiation in the ground soil in Washington. And as my friend Persephone pointed out this morning, there goes the milk, because that's what the cows eat. And it's a good thing my kids are lactards and don't eat meat, because that really is a very quick conduit to radiation. Anyway, the crystals. Send your intentions to the crystals. Go get one. If you're in Portland, go to Healing Water Sacred Spaces. It's like at 25th and Broadway. Go tell Joan of Arc, that Dana sent you. Alternately, if you are on the coast, please go to Rainbow Lotus Healing Center in Nehalem on 101. It's smack dab in the middle of the town, and there's only 8 storefronts, so you'll figure it out. When you're drinking water, whether you get it out of the tap or anywhere else, get a crystal. Pray into the crystal. Tell the crystal you want this water to make you happy, and drop it in there. Thank the water. Ask the water for forgiveness for fucking up the water anywhere else, or wasting water, or whatever. And then drop it into your water, and it'll be healing water, I promise. I know that sounds whack, and you have to kind of believe in these woo-woo things. You don't. I'm not that kind of guy. I come at all this stuff from a strictly scientific point of view. But once I started connecting the dots on all these things that these ancient cultures, indigenous cultures, and that's why the little grandmother, Keisha Crowley, is amazing, because she's my age, and everything she says resonates with me. And it resonates with me because her mission is my mission. I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm going to just save the earth or die trying. And that's really everybody's mission. If you can hear me, it's your job to do what you can to save the earth or die trying. That means you need to start wasting less. That means you need to start giving to other people more. That means you need to stop worrying about your cars and your houses and your money and your everything else, because a lot of that shit's is about to not matter. And if you're going to spend the last weeks or months or years of your life focusing on material things that weigh you down and have turned this earth into the place that we love to hate right now, that's now turning on us, that is what we'll have to look forward to. And to that I say, not on my fucking watch. So I beg of you, go get a crystal. Find one. There's hippie, woo-woo, new age shops everywhere. In every city, everywhere. And there's a reason for that, because this shit works. But you have to believe in it deeply, and then you have to live this way. And I live this way. I live on intuition and my soul's direction. I only follow my gut. If I think too hard, everything falls to shit. And that happens to you too. It happens to everybody. The split second we start talking our will or our soul or our instincts out of what we know they should be doing, we immediately begin to suffer. So I left my husband 2 years ago right now because I felt this super strong impulse, urge. I was compelled to leave the wealth of his household and go change lives for the better for other people. And I haven't stopped since, and I know I've done a good job. And I'm proud of myself. But there's more work to do. I'm not about to give up. And these crystals are really important. Please do some research. Google Dr. Emoto, E-M-O-T-O. I cannot do all your work for you. I've got too much fucking shit going on, you guys. Start doing your homework. Dr. Emoto. Get yourself some crystals. Drewsies at Moxie and Manzanita. Amazing. And there's all kinds. Quartz is important because that's what everything runs on. When I say everything, I'll mention again the earth, radios, computers, these screens that we're seeing. Crystals, 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 crystals. And if it's acceptable for one application, it's acceptable for every application. And we need to start realizing that we are all one. The solution to one thing is a solution to everything. And unless every single motherfucker who can hear me, plus every other single motherfucker who can hear you, and on and on and on, gets with this program, we are all in a lot of fucking trouble. Radiation is here, and it's affecting us, and it's on us right now. Our food is being irradiated, our animals are being irradiated, our lives are being irradiated, our children are being irradiated. This game is on, and the only way to repel the density of those radioactive molecules is to put off a very high frequency yourself. And so once you get into the science of how these crystals work and how human subtle energy fields work, you'll begin to understand everything puts off a frequency. And if you don't put off a high vibration or a high frequency, and if you do, you draw people to you. If you put off a very high energy level that's exciting, it will draw people to you. The Secret calls it the power of attraction. I bet you paid for that fucking book. Well, I'm talking about the power of repulsion now. You want to repel anything and repulse anything negative that comes toward you, whether that's people, radioactive matter, situations. We will to us that which we feel like we need to experience with our moods. You put off negativity, that is what you're going to get, and things are not going to get much better. If you know that everything bad that happens to you in your life happens for a reason and is here to teach you something, you begin to operate on a different level entirely. And then you start to not have any problems because everything is a lesson, not a problem. And then once you get to a point where you've learned so many fucking lessons, you can apply it in real time on the spot to whatever's happening to you. You suddenly don't have any problems and you can help anybody. That's what I do. And not by choice, because I suffer if I don't use what I've learned about all of this shit that I came to by myself scientifically after a bunch of woo-woo hippies tried to put different language on it. But we can fix the water like crazy, all of it, all the oceans, all the lakes, all the rivers, all the streams, with some fucking crystals. And then the most powerful crystal of all, tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, the crystalline structure of marijuana. But we'll have to get to that in a different segment as well, because I've been talking for 14 minutes. But you need to make this prayer, this Emoto prayer, to water and to your children and to your life. And I will tell you this, everything Dr. Emoto says about speaking to water and the vibration that your sound waves put toward water, if you are kind to water, the water will be kind to you. The human body is like 9,000% water, isn't it? So if you talk shitty to other people, they're going to become shitty. And if you say shitty things to yourself or think shitty things to yourself, you too will become shitty. The body is water. And if we have the power to control the crystalline structure of water by speaking to it, based on the proof of Dr. Emoto's work, then we really need to start thinking about these things on a bigger scale. If you can change one molecule of water, you can change a person's whole entire crystalline structure internally with kindness. Kill them with kindness. That's what we have to do now. For me, kindness is not a choice. It's not dictated by somebody else. It is simply my way of being. You may not like the intensity with which my kindness comes out, but I always come in peace. And I'm only trying to help the people who care enough about themselves, what's around them, in terms of people and the environment. That's the natural environment, and then your created environment, your home, your wherever you spend your days. It is your job right now to repel radioactive material by putting off only positive vibrations. Only positive vibrations. Don't get scared. Don't get worried. Don't get depressed. Because literally the natural environment outside can't help you right now. There's no sunshine or vitamin D from the sky for people in Portland or on the coast to rely on right now. So you've got to manufacture that from within. However, you have to get that. And that doesn't mean doing anything self-destructive. That means inviting your neighbors over for dinner. That means giving somebody a hug on the street. That means helping the homeless lady get her shopping cart reorganized. That means stopping to ask somebody if they need something. If you're alive and you're walking around and you can more or less function through most of your day, you have everything you need. It's your job to start putting off positivity right the fuck now. Because anybody who doesn't is going to start dying. And I don't mean that in like you guys should be so scared. But the people who don't put off positivity right the fuck now are going to become human sponges for all of that radioactive material. If you can't change your ways and you can't stop eating all your food out of a box or a window, you're in trouble. And if you don't learn how to grow a certain amount of your own food indoors right the fuck now, you're in trubs. So I've got a lot of work to do because I have to create all of these movies that I don't know if anybody's watching, but if I stop making them, I suffer, so I gotta stop making them. And I will continue on because I only put off positive vibrations, and it's not just because I roll with crystals. I haven't rolled with these fucking things in weeks. You get to a point where you don't need it anymore. Your vibration and your frequency is so high that it just radiates off of you. So now I'm just a giant human radiator. One more thing I want to talk about is hugging. It is one of the most powerful forms of electromagnetic energy that you could possibly ever give or receive. When you give somebody a genuine hug, and you're heart to heart, which means you hug on the left side, meaning you throw your head over their left shoulder. That's a heart to heart hug. The heart is an electromagnetic instrument, and if it's a genuine hug, your heartbeats will sync up for the time of that hug. You may or may not have experienced a post-coital relaxation period where you and your lover your hearts are together. If you listen closely, you will notice that those hearts do beat as one. And that is the goal here. Every single heart on this planet needs to beat as one. It sounds so hippie, fucking jala, woo-woo, whatever. That's the answer, though. So I wish everybody an amazing day. Please go out and buy your crystals at your local woo-woo shop. Wear one around your neck. Pray into one like this. And make it a good prayer And please watch that little grandmother video and then slip those crystals into the water, because that's how we're going to heal water. And that's the only way to heal the earth. If there's no clean water, there's no humans. This is my instinct, and my instinct is the opposite of extinct. I'm not begging you to do this for me. I'll still be here. I've been here since the beginning of time, and I'm not going fucking anywhere. But if you can't get your shit together, and I want you to, I know you want you to, let's do this, because if going down in flames is going to happen, it's going to be fun if I'm in charge. And let's be clear, I'm in charge of something. Nobody wants to know what yet, though. Please stand by and have an amazing day. There's no other kind worth having. I promise.